If you are looking to sell more, attract new clients, you are in exactly the right place. If you don't want to be salesy, then this is the woman you need to listen to because today I'm talking to a completely fabulous Lisa Yelland. Lisa is a sales coach and a complete sales expert. So I'm just going to hand straight over to you, Lisa.
Hello, and thank you very much for inviting me on. I'm very excited to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. Sales without sleaze, sales without the pushiness, sales without the manipulation. I know from speaking to thousands of people that sales brings up a lot of negative emotions within us, and how that can then show up in our business is that we are reluctant to do the sales activities because we don't want to come across as that pushy person. We don't want to come across as forcing anyone into doing anything that they may not want to do. What that then means is that we are not working with the number of clients that we could be. We're not selling the amount of products that we could be. We're not serving in the way that we are here to do, that lights us up, but also has that impact on the world. So my mission is to redefine sales one connection at a time. So the key word here is connection. Before we can connect to our lovely dream client, we have to connect with ourselves. We have to connect with our offer. We have to connect with our business. So I'm going to share with you today 7 sales habits that are going to ensure, guarantee, excite and inspire you into making more sales now. I can say this with full integrity. If you implement these sales habits, it's going to make a difference, and it's going to make a difference immediately. So are we ready to dive in?
So ready.
Okay, right. Let's start with the most important one, which is your energy and your mindset. So before you do any selling activities, and what I mean by that, it could be, yes, a sales conversation. It could be content. It could be an email. It could be networking. It could be introducing yourself in some way, whatever it is. Before you, I want you to connect with your energy. So, how are you feeling about the day you have in front of you? How are you feeling about your offer, your business, your clients? What is it that you're feeling right now? No judgment. So, just checking with how you are right in this moment. And if it's not there where you want it to be, as in how would I love to feel? Well, I would love to feel inspired, excited. I would love to feel that passion, that excitement, that service, whatever it is. If there is a gap, that's okay. What we want to then do is start to make some small steps towards bridging that gap. So that might mean really leaning into who is your favorite client? How did things go? How did you feel? How did they feel? What kind of results did you generate? And then just try on that energy just for a brief moment while you then go into your sales activity. So energy is really key. Your mindset is really key. We want to be bringing in those feelings of service, of making a difference, having an impact, whatever it is that lights you up. Let's get your energy right first of all. So mindset, energetics, number one key sales habit. Check in with that. There's a gap, that's okay. How can you bridge it? How can you take those small steps to feeling into what's going to make a difference for you to show up in that lovely energy that's going to connect with people? We want to connect. So that's number one. Number two, so often I see when people are creating content while they're connecting with people, while they're having conversations, they talk about the features. They don't talk about the transformation. They don't talk about the results. And this is a key sales habit that you really want to get into. So, what I would love to offer you to help you with this would be to add on to the end of a sentence when perhaps you are describing what it is that you do or how you can help or talking about your offer, add on to the end so that or what that means is. So adding on that bit of the sentence then helps you connect. Again, you're going to hear this word a lot, connect with actually what it is that you're doing. So what you're not doing is providing a certain number of calls or a certain amount of product. What you're doing is providing a result and an outcome and a transformation. We have to speak to that because what we want to do is connect our lovely clients with the emotion of that. How is that going to feel? What's going to change? How are they going to know that things have shifted? Okay, so we want to be speaking to the transformation, the results, the outcome, not the features. So that's number two. Hope you're enjoying it so far, Julie. Number three, Make sales a priority. Make your selling activities a priority. How do you do that? Well, you need to block off some time in your diary. Okay, for all of my clients, sales first. Can you start your day with some selling activities, perhaps between 9 and 10, whenever you're feeling super energized, whatever's going to work for you, but often doing it first is a really great start to your day. So make selling a priority. That's really important because what can happen is if we're feeling some resistance to selling, is that it will be perhaps on our list of things to do. Sometimes it isn't, but if it is on our list of things to do, we'll probably leave it until the end of the day. And then guess what? It will probably drop off. So by selling activity, could be anything, could be follow-ups, could be sending some voice notes, it could be connecting with somebody. There's lots of different ways that you can actively sell. Make it a priority and block off some time to do that and really commit to it. Can you add it on to another habit? Can you add it onto something that you already do without even thinking so that it makes it easier to step into that? Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, check in with your pipeline weekly. So by pipeline, I mean the flow of lovely clients, people in your world, opportunities in your world. Check in with them because what can happen. So if we're not checking in with our pipeline, our flow, perhaps, you're working with a client and they're coming to the end of their time within you, with working with you. Maybe for some other people, you were due to check in perhaps in a month or maybe in 3 months' time. If you're checking in with your lovely flow of people in your world regularly, then you're less likely to miss opportunities. So even just by doing this regularly, that's going to make a difference because you're going to keep reminding your brain, oh yes, I must check in with so-and-so, I must check in with this person. So check in with your sales pipeline. I would love to offer that as a weekly thing. Don't have to do that daily, but weekly would be brilliant. Number 5, it's kind of 2 in number 5, really. Listen more than you speak and ask questions. Ask more questions. The key to selling with ease, the key to selling without any sleaze or manipulation is to be curious. So yes, we always want to be in the energy of service. We're helping, we're solving a problem. One way that you can do that really easily is to ask questions to understand. Not to get them to a point of a sale, not to get them to feel or think or have anything coming from your energy, but to understand so that you can understand where they are right now, where they want to get to, what's potentially stopping them, how you can best position your offer so that it speaks to the results and outcome that they want. You can only do that if you've got the right information. How do you get that? Well, you ask questions. Questions from a place of curiosity, not from a get energy. I want to get this information. I want to get this result. So if you come from a space of, I'm seeking to understand and I'm allowing that lovely person to speak, then sales is going to feel easy because guess what? It's just a conversation, but it's a conversation with leadership. In order for you to lead, you have to ask questions. So listen more than you speak and ask more questions. Number 6. So this is linking now to a couple of the other earlier habits. This is tracking your numbers, and you need to do this regularly. If we don't track the conversations that we're having, the people that we're connecting with, the activities that we're engaging with, and it could be that you're tracking perhaps followers. Followers doesn't necessarily turn into clients necessarily, but it can be really motivating if we can see that we're growing. So if you think about your social media platforms or email lists, for example, are you tracking your conversations? Are you tracking your follow-ups? So this habit is going to help you when it comes to checking in with your pipeline, but it's also going to give you information that you can then make informed decisions about. So rather than always going with how we feel, which isn't necessarily the best barometer in life, and I'm sure you've got lots to say on this, Julie, we want to check in with the actual data. What are the facts? Because our brain does amazing things and it can convince us of all sorts of things which don't necessarily serve us. So track your numbers, track your conversations, because then you can go in and have a look. Okay, so what perhaps hasn't worked? Where are the gaps? Where can we refine and improve? But also, what is working? What's working really well? What's feeling really easy? Where have I got a really great ROI for my time and my effort? Let's do more of that. I always start there with my clients. What's working? Because there will be something. Let's amp that up. Let's amplify that. Let's take that to the next level, and then we can have a look at some of the things that perhaps aren't working so well. But if you don't have those numbers, you're just kind of guessing, or you're going with how you feel in the moment. That isn't going to serve you or your business or your lovely clients. So track your numbers. Last one, let's finish on a high. Celebrations. Celebrate every single win. Big could be just the next step that you've taken. It could be a shift in your thinking. It could be showing up in some way that maybe you haven't done before. Maybe you have bounced back from something that would have derailed you for the rest of the day or even for the rest of the week. You have to start directing our brains to noticing all of the celebrations along the way, knowing that you can hold conflicting emotions at the same time. So even if you're not, and I hear this a lot from my lovely clients, and I feel this too, I'm not where I want to be. I'm ambitious, I've got big goals, I get excited about what I could create, and I get frustrated with myself sometimes that I'm not there already. Now, what this can do is then diminish all of the celebrations, all of the things that you have achieved, how you're showing up, how you're serving clients, how you're getting results, how you're making changes in the world, can really diminish that. And that can then stop you from growing, scaling, showing up. So we have to keep directing our brain to let's notice and celebrate all of the wins. So at the beginning of every week in my lovely mastermind, we always start with setting our goals, intentions, our targets. So we've got a focus. And at the end of the week, we always celebrate. We celebrate everything. Even if it is, nothing to do with your business, you have to direct your brain to notice these things. And we have to find a way of celebrating that achievement. So is it, I don't know, going for a lovely walk or having an amazing bubble bath, or I don't know, spending some time doing whatever, or booking a holiday? It doesn't need to be massive things like that. But have you got a way of celebrating that signals to your brain, well done you, you've done the thing, you showed up for yourself? Because guess what? The more we notice these things, the more our confidence grows. And the more our confidence grows, the more trust we have in ourselves and the easier everything feels. It's not that hard things don't come our way, but we have more resilience. We have more capacity to be able to hold the hard things as well as still feeling, proud and brilliant and successful in taking those steps towards our goals. So that's what I wanted to finish on. Celebration always. And we do that in my world with a drum. I've got a bongo drum. I'm banging the drum every Friday for everybody's celebrations, everybody's wins. It sticks in people's minds. It's really lovely to do that. So I'm cheerleading them all the way through the week. But on a Friday, it's a big a drum banging day. And I love it. I love that, Julie. So there you go. Those are my 7 sales habits to help you make more sales right now. How are you feeling about all of those?
Oh my goodness, I wish you brought your bongo drum. I'd love to have seen you on that. Maybe it's handy, I don't know. But
Well,
talking
I've
of
got it.
energy, oh, come
I've
on,
got it.
give us a little bongo.
You may not hear it.
Oh,
Did you hear that?
didn't hear that, no. But anyway, I love that you've got it. So honestly, talking of energy,
Imagine.
you've just got the best energy. And what's so great about your energy is that it's absolutely infectious. And I think, energy is really everything. I love that you talked about transformation because let's face it, I want to know what's in it for us. And we don't want to know the benefits and all that. What are we going to get out of it? Setting sales as priority. I mean, yeah, it's a bit like that book, is it Brian Tracy book, Eat That Frog, where you eat the frog first
Yeah.
thing. In which,
Yeah.
yeah, or if you've got several frogs, eat the ugliest.
Yeah.
It's such a good way to do it. But also habit stacking. That's the kind of easiest way to, adding something into an existing habit is one of the easiest ways to keep something in place. Um, Checking in with your
Yeah.
pipeline weekly. I was thinking pipeline. Yes, your connections weekly. Fantastic. Listening and curiosity. I mean, curiosity is my favorite word. Tracking numbers. Yeah, of course we need to. And lastly, like you say, celebration. It's so important because yeah, like you said, we need to build that kind of belief in ourselves and who doesn't like a celebration, particularly when there's a bongo drum? So thank you, Lisa, so much for all of that. I'm going
You're
to put
welcome.
your links below. So all of you watching, listening, who want to find out more about Lisa and why wouldn't you, check out the links below. Mine will be there too. So thank you for watching, listening, and thank you, Lisa, so much for sharing that gold.
You're welcome.